Alright, so right now I'm in the process of breaking the power steering pump pulley off. So what it is, it's a 19mm socket, and I'm using an impact gun. So what I'm using is the pry bar to hold it in place while I spin the nut off. It's a 19. And it just spins the bolt loose. Right now I have a brand new power steering pump here with the new pulley that I just slid on. Okay. So this is the old one. And this is the new one. So all I needed was, I didn't need this pulley. I just needed the nut to lock this one in place. Fits perfectly. Looks great. I'm going to put it in the box here. Do the same process on this one to tighten it. And then it'll be ready to go in the car. The new pump. This one definitely torqued it down enough. This one's good to go back on the car. And this is the old one. Pulley comes right off. This one was leaking, as you can see. It was in really bad shape. And it was leaking all over the alternator. So he bought a replacement one to put in. Took the old one out. It was pretty self-explanatory, pretty easy. It was just the 210s that sit up top here on the top of the pump. Then the 212s, one that sit here and one that sit here to hold the pump on. 212s, 210s here, and then the 110 that sits here in the front for the power steering reservoir line. And that's it. It was that easy, and the pump came right out. Alright, so install this pump, and I'm gonna catch back the video for you guys. Alright, so I just finished up installing a new power steering pump. It's really easy to do on these K series. You just remove the 210s that are here, pull this to the side, have a rag so you make sure you don't get no oil on the pulleys. On the pulleys, you take out the 10 that's here in the front. You take that out, put a rag so you don't get any oil on the alternator, because the old power steering pump was leaking oil onto the alternator. You just take those two out, these two up top, and then this one, the 10 here. Then you take out this 12 right here, and then that 12 right here. What I used was a 3/4 ratchet with two 3-inch extensions and a socket, and it was 1, 2, 3. Came right out, and then I showed you guys how to take off the nut. If you don't have one, impact gun like what I have here, you can always use the breaker bar. You can always put, or a pole you can always put here to hold this in place, and you can use a ratchet to loosen the bolt. While you hold it down, the breaker bar on the pulley, you could just ratchet it off with a ratchet and a breaker bar. You know, somebody hold this in place with a bar, and then the other person just tighten this on. I think this goes to about, I think it's like 45 to 50 foot-pounds of torque. It's not really nothing crazy, but enough to hold it on. So the customer, he didn't reuse the old pulley. He basically purchased a brand new pulley and a brand new pump. So I installed a new pulley that was painted black and a new pump. So right now, like I said, I was just in the process of putting everything back. Everything's in and tightened. I just have to tighten down these bolts. These are in, but they're not fully tightened, so I'm going to tighten these down. And then basically he wanted me to replace the belt also. So I have a brand new belt that's right here that I'm going to be replacing. And yeah, that's about it. The new belt to put on, and then I'm going to work on installing fog lights on the bottom because he has the fog lights. And what else? Fog lights, the power steering pump, and the struts. Yeah. So he changed basically one of the shocks, and the other ones he didn't change. So now what I'm going to be doing is replacing this. What he did was he didn't buy the strut separately. He bought the complete setup. So all I have to do is just take out the old strut and then just put the new one in, because he bought the full setup instead of just the strut itself. He bought the spring and the strut together. So it's a complete. So it should be an easy install for that. I'll try to record as much as I can of that for you guys. And that's about it. Alright, so I have the new power steering pump in. Everything's in, the new belt's in. Pretty simple install. Just remove the 3 10s and the 112 here and another 12 here. You push back on the tensioners, a 14 millimeter. Push back on it, slide the belt on. If you can't find a diagram, you could definitely Google a diagram for the belting diagram for the car. And that's it. 1, 2, 3. Alright, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Peace.